Hey, you. What are you writing?
Is he talking to me? Oh, no, he is. Shoot, I have to tell him something. Does he really want to know what I'm writing, or does he just want me to chuckle and say, oh, nothing? Oh, jeez, I better not mess this up. Why did he have to choose me to strike up a conversation with? Anyway, crave human interaction, then frantically search for an exit whenever it happens. Shoot, I'm running out of time.
It's nothing.
Well, if that's nothing, then I'm Nic Formaggio. Hi, Nic Formaggio.
Oh, Ted Lebinski.
So where are you off to, Ted?
I'm going to visiting a friend in California.
California? Is your friend a star? Speaking of stars, I'm going to Iceland. Great stars there.
What are you doing in Iceland, Nick?
Well, Ted, my wife just left me for my best friend, who's also my business partner. I mean, I won the kid in the court case, but, it's complicated. On top of all that, I'm a pickler. I just want a pickle. But my father wants me to run the family business, which is definitely not a crime syndicate. And that puts me in quite the pickle, which normally I'm okay with, but hey, you can't just ask a man about his personal travels. What I'm saying is this is going to be quite the adventure, a real soul search, if you will. Do you believe in souls?
Souls?
God?
I don't know for sure.
A higher purpose?
Right. No, I don't particularly think that.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out too. I know there's something deep inside of me, but with all these outside forces pulling me in every which way, it's hard to tell who I even am.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You know, sometimes you just.
Ted, I'm dying.
Oh?
Stage 4 prostate cancer, Ted. What you know isn't your penis?
Wow, sorry.
You sorry it isn't my penis?
No.
Ted, I don't mean to take you away from your star friend, but if you haven't noticed, I'm a out-of-control character with sporadic and controversial characteristics. I could use a partner like you to even me out and counterbalance any situation that either one of us could get into on our own. Yeah, we might get on each other's nerves at first, but I think This trip could probably develop us both spiritually, mentally, and maybe even physically.
Physically?
So you're in?
Oh, no. Already bought the ticket to Cal. Uh, uh, yeah, okay.
Okay, Ted. We need a game plan. Something that will show us the sights, give us the woiks, and really change us from our inner cores. In a way that is appealing to a general audience and is entertaining and enjoyable. I know it sounds like a lot, but if we walk fast, we'll get it all done in 9 days.
Walk?
Yes, Ted, walk. Power walking. It's very popular here in Europe.
Well, where are you going?
On our adventure, Ted. You can't plan this thing. It's the unforeseen events that will really change us in a time-effective manner. So it's just on us to get going.
Do you, I'm all, yeah, um, I'm all for the unforeseen, but, do you think, maybe we should rent a car?
We should get some rest.
Sorry, sorry, I just wanted to let you know, I sometimes have, bad dreams, and,
Like nightmares? You get nightmares?
yeah, or, no, not, not so much, nightmares as, more along the lines of, sad, sad dreams.
Sad mares. You get sad mares.
Yeah, yeah. And, I just thought I should let you know, in case, you know, uh, they, they sometimes can, send me into something, like crying spells, and it hasn't happened in a while, but, in case it does, I just, wanted to let you know, it's okay, they don't last long, so yeah.
You cry a lot, Ted?
To me?
Is there another Mr. Kaczynski in this tent?
No, it's Lebinski though. Yeah, sorry, it's Ted Lebinski. But I mean, no, I don't cry too. I mean, I cry about his, you know, like a normal person, I guess. You know.
Now, what are these dreams about?
Oh well, I mean, they're dreams. They don't really make sense most times. So, you know.
Then why do they make you cry?
The okay, all right, there's one I have that kind of makes some sense, I guess. It always starts with I'm on this slide with a okay, well, I had a girlfriend a while back in Minnesota. Her name was Gina, and there was this old aluminum slide in a park down the street from her house, and we used to hang out there a lot, and it's where we had our first is where we kissed for the first time, and it's also where we broke up, and but yeah, the dream always starts there, and we're just sitting on the slide, and I'm rambling on and on about something. It's just going on for a really long time. Me talking about something I don't know, some story idea I'm writing or something, and after it goes on for a really long time, I look over and I notice that Gina's just she's not paying me any mind at all. She's just staring straight ahead, little faint smile on her face, but nothing I'm doing, not paying me any mind. And so I'm like, I'm all like, hey, Gina, but it's not doing anything. And so I try to get her attention for a while, but eventually I'd get, you know, I just stand up and have to walk away. And I walk into the field behind the slide and into this little room that's out there that it's like I used to take piano lessons, and every year my mom would take me to this big statewide competition of piano students from all over Minnesota, and there was this they had these little practice rooms that were like just big enough for a piano, but you could go in there and they were soundproofed, and you could go in and practice by yourself before the performance. And so there's one of these rooms out there in the field behind the slide, and so I walk into this little room, and I'm just pacing around in there upset because Gina's just ignoring me. And so after a while though, I look down at my chest, and there's this big knob, just like a big volume knob on a speaker sticking out of my chest, and it's set to 0. So I'm like, well, well, shoot. So I run out there. I turn the knob up and I run out back to the slide, but when I get there, Gina's gone. So I don't really know what to do at that point. So I just sit on the slide, and when I sit down, the slide kind of like it bends under me, and then it starts wrapping around me, and it just keeps wrapping tighter until I'm completely in this little aluminum ball, and if I move around at all, the metal pops and clanks, and it's really loud. It echoes, and so I try to call for Gina a couple times, but if I make any sound at all, it's just too loud. So I end up having to I just have to stay quiet, sit there in total silence, and so I end up just sitting there in the quiet alone, and yeah, and that usually lasts until I wake up. So yeah, I mean that's one of them. That one doesn't so much make me cry as much as that.
Hey, Ted, can I ask you something?
Yeah, sure, bud.
We're buds now?
Well, we did just sleep together, so that, well, that no. What did you want to ask me?
Yeah. So I was thinking, what if there was actually 8 to 14 days in a week?
Is that a pardon?
Or what if we didn't actually sleep, and when we thought we were sleeping, another personality was actually just coming out and living?
Like a dissociative identity thing?
Yeah, except it's not a condition. It's just a state of being. and everyone has it, but only a few people realize. And then I started thinking, well, shoot, if I think I'm depressed, I can only imagine how the me only living at night feels. Where's the vitamin D?
But yeah. What made you think of that?
Oh, well, yeah, I read this article online that said we're only using 50% of our brains. And, I would hate for the other 50% to go to waste. So I started thinking about double lives and what the other me would be using with his 50%, learning piano and such.
It's interesting theory, but the thing about the 50% of the brain thing, they debunked that a couple years ago.
No.
So yeah.
Oh, no.
Why do you bring it up though?
Well, I just thought maybe the other me was more like you and the other you was more like me, and that's why we're here. Because on a deeper level, you and I, we understand each other.
Yeah, that's interesting. I was thinking about something kind of similar the other day.
It just doesn't matter anymore. The theory's been debunked, so that's a load of crap.
Jeez, that is one heck of a waterfall.
That's one waterfall if I've ever seen one, and I have. I've seen one waterfall. Count 'em. One.
You know, back where I'm from in Minnesota, there's this one waterfall called the Devil's Kettle.
Devil?
And
I've seen a devil too. Not two devils, one.
okay, yeah, but it splits into two streams upstream of the waterfall, so it's like two streams falling off the edge, and the one on the right, if you're looking at it, just falls, like a normal waterfall. It just flows on downstream to Lake Superior, but the one on the left, it falls into this big hole in the ground, just a big cave dug out of the ground. And the weird thing is nobody knows where it goes. It falls in there, and people have thrown dye and logs and ping pong balls into it, expecting it to pop up somewhere in Lake Superior, but it never does. And it's not like a little trickle. It's like a big, lot of water falling into this little hole, and it just, yeah. Anyway, you wanna go up top?
Nah. We should head out to Vic real shortly here.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. I guess things like that just get my imagination going. They
Going up top?
no, the waterfall. No, sorry, the one in Minnesota.
This is Iceland.
Yes, the Devil's Kettle, the one I
Oh,
was
yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
Yeah. We're in a time where science is explained so much. That like, and I love science, but science is explained so much that things like that are really rare. Where we just don't know. We have to look at it and just say, we don't know. I don't know. Something cool about that. You just, I don't know. When I was younger, I always wanted to divert the waterfall somehow and be lowered in there and explore, figure out where it goes. But I know that if I did that, if I found out where it goes, then it would just just be another waterfall.
Just another waterfall.
Yeah, just another boring old waterfall.
I punched him.
Punched me.
both verbally and physically. I punched him.
Hurt me.
We were on a buddy trip in Iceland when all of a sudden
He punched me.
why did I let my emotions come out all of a sudden?
It made me sad.
I made him sad.
But I was sad already, so.
And I made the problem worse. I made it grow.
It was enough to know that I hated myself. I didn't need to know that he hated me as well.
I hope he doesn't think I hate him as well.
He hates me as well.
Oh God, I think he thinks I hate him as well. Because I punched him. I'm sorry, Ted. I overreacted.
It's okay. It's okay.
So, Ted, what is it you do?
I'm kind of between jobs right now, so
No, Ted, not your job. What is it you do? I make pickles. Pickles give me the tickles. What gives you the tickles, Ted?
okay. I wanna be a writer.
Writer. What is it you write, Mr. Kaczynski?
Kaczynski. Well, I write novels, ones that have a lot of scientific elements, you know.
Like, science fiction?
Well, kind of. I'm weary about calling them science fiction myself, just because you say science fiction and people tend to think of like campy space action adventure stories, and I tend to write more grounded things along the lines of Heinlein or Bradbury, and they yeah, they're science fiction. I'm sorry, I sound so uppity right now. Yeah, they're science fiction. Yeah. Oh, I think that was the road back to Reykjavik. We passed right there.
Reykjavik's this way.
Are you sure? I think the map said.
So you're working on any novels right now?
Yeah. No. Well. I mean, not really. I had one idea that I was working on back in the airport about a group of astronauts that are colonizing a distant planet, and they're doing a bunch of research, and they find evidence of this ancient civilization that lived on the planet that's long extinct now. And they do a bunch of archaeological research, and they find out that these people weren't some weird alien species, but they were actually human. And they, over the course of a few years, they're doing all this research, and they end up like finding all these different groups of these people around this planet, all these different civilizations, and they uncover ancient documents and translate their languages, and they end up finding that all these different people groups had religions that are also found on Earth, and they're not called the same things, but they have all the same stories, and they're the same religions, just with different names. And it's and the story doesn't really give an answer to what that means or how it happened, but it's about how little we really know and kind of, the implications of a discovery like that. So, yeah, but it doesn't really lend itself to a novel, though. It just doesn't really.
Why not? I mean, I wouldn't read it, but I'm curious.
Uh, you, it's interesting to think about, for sure, but it's a little, how do you put it? Kind of inflammatory, I guess, to both sides of the religion versus science debate. And I'm by no means trying to make a comment on that with it, but that's the way people are going to think of it. And yeah, it feels like it doesn't really matter what story you think of, people are always going to interpret it wrong, And in addition to that, the astronauts colonizing a planet, it's a little bit overdone at this point. People have seen that everywhere. So, yeah, to answer your original question, I haven't really written anything in about 2 years. Yeah. I can't find anything that feels right. It seems like it clicks, and I don't know if it does. It's just too polarizing or something. I'm just gonna have people upset at me all across the board for whatever I.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with polarizing, Ted, as long as it gives you the tickles.
When you say tickles, what do you mean by that?
Passion, Ted. You need something that inspires you, a new hobby, an adventure. This trip, perhaps?
Yeah, maybe.
A woman. You got a woman, Ted?
No. No, I don't.
What about Gina, the one from the dream with the slide? Yeah, tell me about this Gina.
Okay. Yeah, Gina, she was really something, I tell you. We met in the 9th grade. She moved into the other side of the duplex that me and my mom lived in. And, I had a thing for her right away, as soon as I saw her. But, she was like the girl, in the neighborhood. And you just know, you look at her and you know that she has to deal with guys harassing her all the time. And I didn't want to add to that. So, I just, stepped back, settled to be friends for a bit, and I was great with that. I was happy. But I tell you, she was not the type to leave something unsaid. If she thought it, she was going to say it. And one day she walks up to my door, knocks on the door, my mom answers. She's like, is Ted home? And so I go out and we sit on the curb, and she didn't waste any time. About as soon as we had sat down on the curb, she looks at me and she's like, Ted, I think it's about time that you ask me out on a date. And I'm like, I'm like taken aback, and I'm all like, Gina, I'm in the 9th grade. I don't have any money. And she's like, Ted, the date is secondary. Just asking me out. And so I look at her and I'm like, oh, okay. Gina, do you want to go out? With me? And and she looks, and I'll never forget. She's so matter of factly. She just looks me in the eye, and she goes like, "Yep. Now I gotta go do some homework. Bye bye." And she gets up and she skips away. And, I I tell you, Nick, she was funny. But but we dated from the ninth grade until about 2 years ago. We things just weren't they just weren't working out, and we decided mutually, to it would be good to take a break for a bit, see if we could get our footing, you know, and and then not long after we made that decision, she got offered a job out in California, and so she packed up and moved out west. And not long after, she met a guy out there, and they started dating pretty quickly. And she will actually here in a little under about 4 hours, she'll be getting married out there, which is which is that's why I was headed out to California originally. She we're on really good terms. We get along really well, and so she invited me to the wedding, and I said I'd go. And I between you and me, I really didn't want to. Just I don't know, but I told her I would, and well, now I'm in Iceland. So, but it's okay though. I'm sure it's her wedding. She's gonna be plenty busy enough. She's not gonna have enough time to notice that I'm not there. But yeah, I tell you, Nick, she was really something.
You know, Ted, I still remember my first girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, I ate a lot of fish. I got a good memory.
How did he even manage to get lost in Iceland? There's barely more than one road. This is absurd. It's been, what, 2 hours he's been looking at that map? We passed the turn yesterday. What's this guy's problem? He's always pulling some kind of alpha male act, interrupting me, saying no to everything, not listening to my directions. I wonder if he's not going the right direction just to spite me. He thinks I'm so inferior, thinks I can't handle leading the trip. No way Ted Lebinski could ever know the way back to Reykjavik. Better turn down every idea he has. Yeah, well, I'll show him. I know exactly what I'm talking about.
Are you sure that's the right way to Reykjavik?
What kind of non-confrontational baloney was that? That was my big moment. Why do I always do that? Why can't I just speak my mind for once? Why am I so afraid of conflict? Why can't I say whatever I think, have no filter, just let the words flow as they come? Why can't I be more like Nick? He doesn't care what others think of him, he just speaks. Whatever he's thinking, it doesn't even have to make sense, he just says it. Of course he turns down all my ideas. If he doesn't want to do something, he doesn't do it. He doesn't play around with passive courtesy like me. He is fully himself. I'm an amalgamation of others' opinions. Here I am talking to myself about him for so long. I bet he's not even phased. I bet the only thing he's thinking about is getting back to Reykjavik.
Ted Lebinski is so damn sexy. His calm nature, his damn sexiness, his friendly nature. I just want to be liked.
It's it's pretty out there, isn't it? You you know, sometimes I don't know, the landscape here is just so unique. I don't know. All the volcanic rocks and just kind of open, barren landscapes. I don't know. It feels like I'm on another planet. You know? it's like I'm living in one of my books. Oh, hey, you want to pull over this waterfall here? Could like to get a picture of that.
Sorry, Ted, no can do. We gotta get back to Reykjavik.
Yeah, okay, but we're lost, and I would really like to look at that waterfall, Nick.
Weren't you listening? We gotta get back to Reykjavik now.
Damn it, Nick! Stop the car!
What's the matter, Ted?
What's the matter? I'll tell you what's the matter. I want to look at that damn waterfall. But we have to get back to Reykjavik in time, right? Well, you know what, Nick? You're lost. You don't know how to get back to Reykjavik. But guess what? I told you just the other day. We passed a road. I said, that's the way back to Reykjavik. But you couldn't listen to me, could you? You couldn't lower yourself to take advice from somebody. Because you have to be the leader of this trip. You've spent this entire trip shooting down every idea that I have, not listening to anything that I have to say, and I get it, it's your trip, I'm just tagging along, but I am so fed up with everybody walking over me, so you know what? I'm going to go look at that waterfall. You're welcome to join.
Wow. I recognize his character development. I appreciate it.
Hey, sorry about blowing up on you back there. You know, that was...
It's okay, Ted. I should have listened to you. So, was the waterfall worth it?
You know, it's just another boring old waterfall, you know.
Okay, Ted. This is it. You know, I think we were really changed by each other and that trip to Iceland.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's a pretty good, trip, you know.
Trip to Iceland?
Yeah, it was a pretty good trip to Iceland. So, yeah, I'll see you.
Yeah, good luck with your novel, kid.
Thank you.
I punched him.
And it made me sad.
That was great.
I can't do this.
That was great. Take two. Hold on, reset. I'm gonna go with that same opener. I punched him.
And it made me sad.
Both verbally and physically, I punched him.
I don't like myself much anyway, though, so I can't really blame him.
I'm overly cocky and I can't explain him.
Let's keep going.
I punched him.
Yeah, he punched me.
Oh yeah, the single should be called "I Punched Him."